Welcome to Guns 101, our video welcome message for new gun owners, brought to you by the Self-Defense Radio Network. I'm Rob Morse from Self-Defense Gun Stories. My partners are Amanda Suffolk from Eye on the Target Radio, and the guy behind the curtain there doing the heavy tech lifting, that's Paul Lathrop from the Polite Society podcast. We're joined by Tom and Diane Walls from the Firearms Academy of Seattle. Tom and Diane, millions of people brought a gun home. Now they're in quarantine. They can't get to the instruction they need. Should they carry their gun?
Well, that's kind of a pretty big decision.
Question.
To start that, why do you need to carry it? I'm just going to carry it where I need to. I'm just going to go to those dangerous places, which begs the question.
What are the dangerous places?
Oh, and better still, why are you going to go there?
If you know they're dangerous, stay away.
When to carry? When do I wear a seatbelt? Oh, just before I have an accident, I'll put it on real quick. The thing with the self-defense situation is you don't get an invitation from the bad guy. The bad guy chooses where, when, the circumstances. They will not send something to your Facebook calendar to remind you. It's a come-as-you-are event. It's hard to carry all the time at first. It seems weird, but that's really the only way to be sure. I don't make a big deal of it. It's just like I carry a cell phone, I carry a gun. Diane had an epiphany on September 11th about, yes, you can't really predict the future.
Yes, I was in Washington, D.C. touring the White House when the plane hit the Pentagon.
Yeah, they tried to drop a plane on my wife.
And it was, I was having a good old time on a vacation. And right after that, it was like, okay, this kind of weird stuff can happen to you, little girl. So you better get serious about being able to defend people that are in your care.
So that was an epiphany. That's we carry all the time. We carry because the gun, I'm going to pick this up. This is a dummy gun. This is a plastic replica of a gun. It has no moving parts. But if it were a real gun, it's not my magic talisman that repels bad guys. It's emergency equipment. It's not going to scare them away. I have newsflash for you. I was a cop. Bad guys are used to guns being pointed at them. You're not going to scare them. I have to know that I'm going to use this. So if this is my emergency piece of rescue equipment to use as a first responder until the guys arrive with, lots of guns and guys and dogs and bulletproof vests and stuff, can I really use it? Do I morally, physically have the skills and the will to make that thing work? How do you prepare for that ahead of time? You don't want to make that decision on the fly in the face of danger, because the bad guy's not going to give you the time. Hey, yeah, okay, it'll take 5 minutes. We're good. Not going to happen.
No.
It doesn't work that way.
It's a big decision. It's a big responsibility to carry a gun.
You got life and death.
You have the power of life and death in your hands. And a lot of people, they have to take it in little steps. They have to say, okay, I'll just have it around the house for self-defense first. And then maybe, I'll carry it around for a while and see how it feels. There's some considerations you really have to know about before you go out to carry a gun. Do you need a permit to carry concealed in your state? And what do you have to do to get it? What are the ground rules for using a gun in self-defense? You have to understand what's legal for you. It's incumbent on you to know these rules and to abide by them, or you can get in some serious trouble.
Where can or may I not take a firearm? Federal law, local law, it's different state to state. Do I have to let the police know when I get pulled over? Can I carry into a bar? Can I carry into a school? You need to be aware of these things because you're responsible for it. This is where professional training in your state comes in, because you're local instructors. That's part of our job as instructors, is to give you this information. I strongly urge you to be legal. I know we all have the Second Amendment. That's my original carry permit. The courts will hold you to the standard of the law, not your political convictions. That's your responsibilities to make that.
Now, one of the things is that we have 16 states that have constitutional carry?
By my reckoning, yeah, it is 16.
So those brand new gun owners, there's 16 states worth of them that walked out with that shiny box.
Mm-hmm.
And they could shove that gun in a holster in their pants and go home.
They
So
could.
what do you tell them? Because legally they're allowed to do it.
They
But-
can, and I support the right, but not the concept.
Okay.
Videos like this that you good folks are putting on to at least make folks aware that there's more out there. You don't know what you don't know. It's that Dunning-Kruger curve. The beginning of it is like, oh, my eyes are open and now I see. You don't realize that there's this whole wealth of knowledge. If you've made the decision that, yes, I could actually use this firearm, I can deploy deadly force, I've made that moral decision, I've talked to my priest or my rabbi or whomever, to know those laws, know what your responsibilities are. But beyond that, it doesn't end with the bang. It's not like the music swells and the credits roll and it's the end of the story and John Wick runs off with a pretty girl. There's more to it than that. You need to be aware of it because you're going to be held accountable for all of it in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the people around you, your friends and your family.
It's a serious decision, and it's a serious responsibility. We can't recommend training enough before you get concealed carry. And if you want to know something about the laws about what your permit or your constitutional carry is going to allow you to do in other states and in your own state, www.handgunlaw.us is a really good resource to go on there, read up on it, see what sort of things you are allowed to do in your state. And yeah, keep in mind, it's a big decision. It's up to you. And there are always repercussions for anything that you do.
So you started out recommending training. How does a new person find training in their location?
Couple ways to do that. Online is a wonderful thing. And a short answer, National Rifle Association has local courses all over. They're good introductory courses. You can Google firearms training. That's how we found the Firearms Academy of Seattle and ended up that we've been working for the last 15 years. Those sorts of things are available, and you will find that it's usually kind of fun. Diane and I still train regularly. We're scheduled each for I worked this out, about 120 or 140 hours of training for our own uses this year, in addition to what we teach. You don't know what you don't know.
Evidently, there's an awful lot to learn because this is not the first year you've been at it.
No, this is I think it's our 15th year at the Firearms Academy.
Yes, and the 16th year we've been in training. So
yeah,
and I admit I'm a training junkie, but
and fortunately, it's something we can do together. Not everybody has that advantage, but we've been shooting together since we were dating in 1971. So she's my oldest.
Before you were born, remember, kids?
Yeah. So we're always doing something fun. We're always correcting each other on the range, so it can be fun. But we've got that purpose in mind. The purpose of training and improving our skills.
Well, that's some seriously great advice for brand new shooters. Is know what your purpose is, know what you're doing, and get training. Understand the rules, understand the laws, and get training, and then get training, and then ask questions and keep going with some training, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think we ever stop being students. And if you reach out to an instructor who says that the last time he took training was 1985, reach out to another instructor.
Christine?
I would agree with that. Yeah. The best instructors I've trained with are the ones that are perpetual students, and they take joy in learning new things about the gun and the way of the gun. Jim Cirillo, rest his soul, was Yoda with a gun. It was the coolest class I think I've taken.
Well, Yoda with a Brooklyn accent with a gun.
Yeah, shoot him in the snot locker.
Famous in the training industry, wonderful books, wonderful instructor, and he was going, I've never seen that before. Show me what you just did. The epitome of an instructor.
I'm gonna learn from you. You're gonna learn from me. I think as you teach a class, you learn from your students as much as the students learn from you. It's a reciprocal relationship. So Tom and Diane Walls from the Firearms Academy of Seattle. firearmsacademy.com. Look them up. They've done 4 videos in this Guns 101 series, and you're going to want to have watched all 4 of them.
Thanks, Amanda.